I'm wondering if in fact there was a risk assessment. I know there must have been a risk assessment made on the project at the community center. And I'm wondering if you can explain what perhaps the numbers, like the lead numbers from the dust in that area that was torn down might have been.
Actually, I did get a request from Ms. Riddle, and we're waiting for response from Wade Trimmer. They did the assessment.
They did the assessment?
Yeah.
Wait, Trimmer.
Yes.
Okay. So you're talking about the abatement portion of it? Is that?
No. No, I'm talking about that portion that was torn down and the samples that were taken.
No,
to make sure
just the lead content in that, say?
Yeah.
If you're
lead and other hazardous materials.
back on the roads for a minute.
Sure.
And I'm only mentioning this because I hit it and I think I have to go see my dentist now. It rattled my teeth. There's a hole in Party, like on the, as soon as you turn out of the Myers parking lot, that's sizable. You can't miss it. It's the Comerica entrance. I'm surprised nobody's called on it from Comerica. I was there today and I pulled out and I caught this, I mean, Rocky, it's probably a foot by 2 feet, it's probably 2 feet by a part, yeah. It has a turning lane portion of it, so you're right in the center area.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of this.
Maybe you can just take a look at it and see if I can get some patch in there or something.
Yeah. That'll be coming forward at the next meeting. We'll see if there's enough for emergencies such as those, or hazards such as those.
Yeah.
So we can get out there and take care of that.
All right.
Okay, we're gonna move on to 16, Halt Fire Services.
Mr. Brown, do you want to explain this, please?
Yeah, approximately 6, 7, 8 months ago, fire engine number 2 suffered what I would consider to be a pretty catastrophic failure. It took a great deal of diagnostic testing and repair work to get to the source of the problem. This repair was facilitated by the previous fire administration. Okay, so at this point, even though we've incurred this big bill, the truck is not fixed. Okay? It's several $1,000s away from being completed. Given the nature of the problem, I don't have very much confidence in this piece of apparatus anymore. I've suspended any further repair, and that's based on the resale value of this vehicle is $5,000. So we're going to end up putting nearly $15,000 into a truck that we can only turn for $5,000. So I don't. I'm not in favor of moving forward, but of course the bill has been generated, so I'm hopeful that council will approve payment.
Well, could you elaborate a little bit more on what we intend to do? I mean, you say resale, are we getting new vehicles?
Well, that remains to be seen. I'm hopeful that, through a council action, we can come up with some money somewhere to fund some new fire apparatus. At this point, my other concern is this. So if we spend nearly $15,000 on the motor, the chassis, the drivetrain, the suspension, the body, the pump, they're all very aged, a lot of miles, a lot of usage on it, and subject to a future failure. So what I'm hoping that we can prevent, by moving towards a new apparatus purchase, is to stop throwing good money after a continuing problem. My concern is, like I said, if we spend $15,000 on it, the pump could break next week, and that's $20,000.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
So we have to pay the $11,000 anyway.
Yes.
That's a bill.
Yes.
There's no getting around that.
But it couldn't be repaired enough, I realize like the resale would be nothing, but it couldn't be repaired enough to be a usable piece of equipment, is what you're saying?
It could, but it's going to be subject to future problems. So if we get to the point where we needed it, DPW has indicated that they could probably fix it for cheaper than the vendor has, suggested their price would be. But at this point, I'm really looking at taking anything salvageable off of this apparatus and using it for our other equipment, if that makes any sense. It's going to be a parts truck at this point, unless we want to continue to throw money.
And this is,
I recommend we don't.
this is engine number 2, and as Mr. Reynolds explained to me, this is 1, 2, and 3 are all the same exact vehicle, purchased at the same point in time. So the
Same
concerns
make,
over
model,
2 are the
years,
same concerns,
mileage,
same
right, so-
concerns over 1 and 3
Wow.
at this point, which is why he's recommended we just kind of keep it back and use it as parts if something goes wrong in other equipment at this point.
You know-
To answer the other question, to try to summarize a quick answer for that question, we do have an RFP with the low bid. We get with 3 new trucks and a 75-foot aerial quint. That was the recommendation. We would what would we do? Not return, but sell back
Trade in.
our aerial.
Trade in.
Our aerial for $255,000. That we use that towards a down payment. We have to finance 1.88 million plus. A 10-year payment on that would be $226,000 plus. So what we're doing, this just came through today. Evaluation from the low bid and their finance option. So and again, it's a year to deal with getting any new piece of equipment.
Right, once we order it, it's going to take a year to build.
Wow.
So I just got this late today, so I haven't sat down with finance, obviously, to look at, where what is putting $226,000 into the expense side. We want the revenue side to offset somewhere. So,
So
Yes.
do we have to pay while it's being built, will we have to pay the payment during that year? Is that one of the 10 years?
I didn't really see anything in here. They have had some discussion, they did say some options of a 1 year.
I think we wouldn't make a payment until 2015, a year post-delivery.
Okay, first lease payment is right here, it's August 2/15.
Thanks.
So upon delivery, pretty much, right?
Well, the financing will start upon delivery.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then it's deferred because of the trade-in of the tower, so we won't have to make an actual payment for a year post-delivery.
Okay, I have a question on that bill.
Yes.
Was that accounted for in the last budget? But it just came to us now? If we knew about it, if the work's already been done, why were we not brought this bill for the end of the budget?
But we haven't closed out, this is still gonna close out on the last budget, this is still gonna be applied to the last budget, or it was from our process.
From
But we don't
4-4.
have a council approval.
That's from 4-4.
Well, it's been an ongoing repair for several months. 4/4 is when I finally pulled the plug
Okay.
and said, we're done. We're
Okay,
not
so
sinking
since
another
4-4
dime.
to now, that's what, 3 months?
Well, I don't think
Just
it's-
seems
I
odd
think
that,
I think the bill was found on the desk on 4/4, so
okay.
what point in time was that? Dan, remember?
I'm sorry?
What point in time was that, it was found on the desk in the file?
Somewhere around
Chief, you clearly know your department far better than I do, but I'm going to put that to for a moment on this. If we hadn't already invested $11,000 and we said, let's not throw bad money at it, I would tend to simply agree and say, you're absolutely right, and I don't need to think about it no more. But the fact that we spent 11 and possibly for another 4, the vehicle may be operational, and even if it's only for a short time, I suppose, my tendency is to go through that evaluation and try to determine what type of life expectancy we would realize. Would it buy us another year? Would it buy us another 2 years? Only, because of the current financial situation that we're in, and not knowing all the other details of what you're doing through the RFP. But, I mean, we're $11,000 into this, and if I'm hearing you right, for another 4 or 5, we're going to have another vehicle for some time.
Sure, and my recommendation is if we do move on it, we should probably see if we can't facilitate that repair in-house through the DPW, the mechanics, for significantly less.
So you're saying that even if we just simply pay Halt what this invoice is for, the DPW guys are confident that they can fulfill the rest of the repairs internally?
Can I ask what the repair is?
turbo unit on the motor.
Yeah, turbocharger. or-
Yes.
Thank you.
And what kind of services was this? Was this the engine?
Motor repair, yes.
Okay.
I never get an answer. He asked all the questions.
All right. Anything else?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, the question is, why wasn't it brought forward? Ms. Molnar, the question's, outstanding, why wasn't it brought forward? It's being brought forward, we didn't pay for it, it wasn't brought forward, council, it wasn't found on, the previous chief's desk until, I think Ms. Gorski and Mr. Reynolds went through the office. So, the costs were being incurred, we were aware that it was at Halt Fire Services, but it wasn't brought forward on 4/4. Was service initiated on 4/4?
I can understand that right on 4/4, don't get me wrong, I'm not expecting, and I know our bills are never, with the municipality, I'm not expecting to get a bill on 4/4, I'm gonna find out on 4/4. It's just 3 months, seems a little long.
So was service being initiated in April, or was service done in April? I don't remember the timing of when, and if you said we need to do one or the other and get this thing out of there. I know that was in June at some point in time.
Because when we did that budget amendment, was this included in it? Because how would they know we need $12,000 in service on a truck last year? We wouldn't know that.
It was
So
the last
was it-
budget amendment that we did for this.
So was it in the last budget amendment we did?
Yes. We were advised at that point, because within the list
I
of
remember something about,
outstanding
but I
expenses.
wasn't sure it was this particular item because it's a little bit older. Okay.
Yeah.
So does the budget amendment cover it then? I mean, why do we have to do it again if it was in?
No, it still needs this council resolution relating
It's
to,
over 2,000.
specific to this vendor. So
Okay,
it covers this.
Yeah, it did give us the.
Okay. We're gonna move to the 1